Hello everyone, I'm just putting some sunscreen and skincare on. This sunscreen I was told you're supposed to put on before moisturiser. I'm just using some cream one because, hello Pamela, an old cream one that I've got because I'm not really getting on with that one that's like a primer. It sometimes pills. Good morning. So I'm going to wave to Pamela. And hello there, fab little bag, Martha. Hello. So, you know what I thought today? I got everything prepared here because, my foot's on fire today. It's really on fire. But I thought I'd do the Dolce Vita look because it, as you may know, it's just been renamed the Bella Sofia look. And it put me in the mood to apply it. So I'm going to do that. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Martha. So I'm just putting my sunscreen on and a bit of skincare. Oh, my skin is so dry. But I found this. Things that I buy and then I forget about them. But I found this, which is so soothing. It's vitamin E ice. What's it called? Eyes Cube. And it's got vitamin E and it's just so cooling under the eyes and moisturising. And that's where my eyes are really dry at the moment. So I'm putting that on. Oh, that's nice. It's really handy. You can carry it in your handbag as well. So that's my sunscreen on, and I just put a little bit of Charlotte's Magic cream on. So I'm just going to follow the entire... hello earthy souls, the entire Dolce Vita, aka have you tried boring aqueous cream? I haven't. I have got aqueous cream actually for my legs. Good thinking. Yeah, I might try some under my eyes. Thank you for that, Martha. Hi there. So I'm then going to just put some magic cream on. And it's because of the pollen as well. We've had really high pollen count. What's the light like? Is that a little bit better? I tell you what I do put sometimes under my eyes, Martha. I put lanolips because it's pure lanolin. And that really helps. And I think Pamela suggested yesterday Vaseline. I've done that as well before, but it's got petroleum in, hasn't it? Which is not brilliant near your eyes. But I've definitely used lanolips. I'm just putting some eye cream on. And then a little bit of moisturiser, so I'm all moistured up. I'm expecting delivery of a toilet seat, by the way, which would be really funny if it happens during my live stream, because our toilet seat is broken. Wouldn't that be funny if it arrived right in the middle of my makeup? So I look like I'm about to go and cook pizza. With my navy and white striped top on and my navy apron with Ali M on it. Love a bit of toilet speak. Yeah, well you would, wouldn't you, Mrs. Fab Little Bag? People, please pop over to Fab Little Bag because Martha has invented such a great item. I'll leave you to, but toilets is a good clue. I'm not going to tell anyone because then they'll pop over just to see. I'm not going to give the game away. Right. Now I am going to use some of Charlotte's Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've got shade 3 out. Oh, I can't be bothered. It's probably a bit fair for me at the moment, but never mind. Where's my little sponge thing? You see, I've got everything out, but not exactly organised. Okay, Now this is going to make me look very glowy, but this is just my primer. If you really want to look glowy, you can put this on as a foundation. So we're doing all Charlotte Tilbury today. Well, mostly. A couple of things maybe aren't hers. But you see how this really makes you shine. So it goes under, like to put it under my foundation mostly. What do you think about CT blush? Is it worth the price? I love CT blush. I've got 4 out of 5. Oh, no, actually, I've got them all. Because one of them, the only reason I haven't got the 5th one of her Cheek to Chic is because it's already in one of her instant look in her palettes. I love them. I think they're lovely. If I'm going for something sort of with a bit more natural flush to it, I like Daniel's watercolour blush. Or I can combine the two. And of course, the other things that are really good at the moment that she's just brought out are her wands, her blush wands. What is it? What is the invention? Fab little bag. You want me to tell? It's for ladies' items, to dispose of ladies' items. But it's very, very good. And I'm sure you could use it for a lot of other things as well. I know you can. Right. Now, I'm going to put on my foundation. Foundation. So Martha and I have met because she's a brilliant designer. And I keep wanting to design something to help makeup become more accessible. Have I tried Trini stuff? I have, yes. I tell you what, the reason I don't use Trini's a lot, I used to use it a lot at work. I do love it, and it looks great on the skin and everything else. But applying makeup for me is a little bit like mindfulness. There are days like today, like this weekend, when my pain's been bad, where I actually like the complexity of makeup because it gives me something to focus on. Trini is good for days when I really can't be bothered or I haven't got a lot of time and I want to look polished quickly. But actually, the reason I love makeup so much is I like to actually use lots of products and experiment and whatever. So if you're the sort of person that really doesn't enjoy putting on makeup and you haven't got a lot of time, or maybe you've just had a baby and you just want to look polished very quickly, Trini's makeup is brilliant and I've got it for that. But that's why I don't tend to reach for it as much, because at the moment I just like to be able to switch off and use lots of things. I'm not, I don't need to be out and about. That's you, is it? Yeah, well, then I would definitely recommend it. If that's you haven't got a lot of time, you need to get out and about in a rush. And now I've lost my sponge already. What did I do with my sponge? I bet you it's looking at me somewhere. I'll put it away. Right, I've just mixed some. I love this foundation, but I got it in a shade that's too dark for me. And when it's the height of summer, I can just about get away with it, but it's tan. So I'm just mixing it with another kind of full coverage. It's the Becca Aqua Luminous foundation, and I'm mixing it with Estée Lauder Maximum Cover, which is insanely high coverage, but it's also lighter. So I'm getting the best of both worlds, basically. I'm getting a nice glow, but I'm also getting decent coverage by mixing the two together. And you can do that as well if you've got two foundations and you think, I like the coverage of that one, but I don't like the finish. Then you can mix. But yes, Trini's are very good because and her BFF cream is amazing. You must try it. it's very like Unisex Healthy Glow, which is my favourite Charlotte Tilbury product. Slightly less coverage than the Unisex Healthy Glow, but it comes in 5 shades and it's got SPF in it. So it's a very sort of light coverage to sort of even out your complexion before you start. But when I was working, I used to take my stack into work. So I'm using this sponge to apply it. And hopefully you can see I've got the glow from the Becca foundation and I've got the coverage from the Estée Lauder. I just finish off by putting a little bit extra where my pigmentation is around my cheeks. So yes, I'm going to use the Bella Sofia look today, and if you haven't heard, don't worry, Charlotte hasn't brought out a new item. It's an existing item. She's just renamed it the Dolce Vita look. She's renamed it the Bella Sofia look after her 2 beautiful, absolutely beautiful nieces. Right, now I can actually wipe my hands because I'm wearing my makeup top. I won't completely, I don't want to completely cover it in foundation. I normally save that for a brand new top. Are you like me? That's what I do. Wait till I've got a brand new top and then get makeup all over it. Now, I'm going to put shade 6 of Magic Away. This is a really good concealer. Even if you just don't use foundation and you just want to quickly do under your eyes or your face. Now, this one is shade 6 because I'm doing it under my eyes, so it's slightly lighter than my skin tone. I'm going to use this sponge again because it's brilliant. And I'm doing the goldfish face that we all do when we go near our eyes. Anyone got any questions? So the person that asked about the... Oh, you heard the blushes break easily. Aha! Earthy Souls. Oh, what's the primer? Sorry, I'm missing out all your questions. Okay, I'll answer yours in a minute, Pamela. The blushes, have a look at my channel, Earthy Souls, because one of mine broke. But I've only ever broken one, and I did, in fairness, drop it on the floor. And I actually did a tutorial fixing it. I fixed my blush. I put it back together again, and it was literally in pieces. So have a look at my tutorial. And it's not broken since either. Now, what's the primer? The primer that I used was Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. And I used shade 3. So it's a bit glowy. I did mean to use shade 5 because I'm getting a bit more tanned. And I used a bit the other night because I was feeling a bit... Because I've been in a lot of pain this week. And it's a combination of pain that's actually wore me down this week. Right? Because my foot's been hurting. My back's been hurting. And I've had a bad case of hay fever as well from the pollen. So it's like everything, you know, all at once. So... And I just looked a bit pale, so I did use a little bit of Charlotte's Overnight Bronze and Glow on my face. And I've never used self-tan before, but I have used Charlotte's one. Because it doesn't look like you've used anything. I mean, I've got quite olive skin anyway, and a lot of these self-tanners just make me look orange. So I just wouldn't do it. I'd just go out in the sun with some sunscreen for a while and tan. But because my face was looking a little bit pale, I did use it one night just to give me a little bit more colour. Oh, thank you, Martha. Well, it's just part of my life at the moment. What's really annoying is this ulcer, which is basically, it wouldn't pick the foot that I've got no sensation in. Because a couple of years ago, you probably know, I think Martha knows this, I broke my little toe and I didn't feel a thing. I knew I'd broken it because I heard it crack. Didn't feel a thing. But this is in the foot that's got more sensation in it, and it's on an area that I've got sensation in. And it's right on the bottom of my heel. So every time I put weight on it, it hurts. It stings. But I'm seeing them tomorrow for a follow-up. But it has been healing. I was thinking I might actually take the dressing off and have a look at it today. But I'm not sure. Just to see, because it is hurting a lot at the moment. Right, now I've done my concealer. But this is what I mean about, if I was to put Trini's makeup on, I'd be done now. And I can completely lose myself in putting my makeup on. So that's why I don't use it as much now, because I actually enjoy the process of putting on my makeup. And I've got, fortunately now, because I'm retired, I've got the time to do it. So, but definitely if you're travelling, you know, it's so convenient, or you're going somewhere and you know that you've got to make yourself up, like, and you've got to throw a few things in your handbag. It's definitely very good for that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of powder on to set my foundation so it doesn't slide off during the day. And then I will start and do the Dolce Vita look. Did I only bring one? No, I bought both of my... I'm just going to press this in. I'm pressing it in because even though my eyes get dry, the rest of my face isn't that dry. So I kind of need the powder, otherwise it starts sliding off. So you can see I'm really pressing it in. And you're going to say, oh, she's taken all that lovely glow away. But don't worry, I'm going to bring it back. Don't worry, Martha, I'm going to upload this to YouTube later on, so you can catch up with it later. You can catch it here for 24 hours, or come and watch me on my channel. Thank you for joining me. Please get as many people to subscribe as possible. I really want some more subscribers so I can get up to 1,000. Have a great day, Martha. Now, I'm going to just do my under eye powder, and then I'll get on to the eyeshadow. Now, were there any other questions? Let me see. Did I miss any? Have I tried? I've heard the blushes break easily. No, I've answered all the questions. Any more questions while I'm doing my under eyes and the centre of my face? So I'm just using the lighter shade 1 of this Genius Magic powder. Just to give me a little bit more light in the middle of my face. Does the concealer... no, it doesn't. It does crease here, but I've got very hooded lids. But it doesn't crease under the eyes. And in fact, a lot of the time, although I keep doing this, I say a lot of the time I don't set this concealer. And then I go and do it on my channel. But a lot of the time, I don't bother to set it because I don't think it needs it. And it gives you some nice moisture. The only reason that I'm setting it at the moment is because of my hay fever. If my eyes water, then it just keeps it on a bit longer. But actually, I don't find it does. If you look back, I did a video called Revisiting lasting impression series I've done where I've revisited first impressions. And a couple of weeks ago I did one where I revisited the Magic Away concealers. And I was showing you that it really doesn't crease. It does, everything creases on my eyes. Because if you look, if I relax my eyes, they are incredibly hooded. No, you're doing great. Right, I'm just going to spray my face with this. Now, this is not a makeup fixing spray. It's a face spray that I talked about on one of my videos. If you've heard of La Roche Posay Toleriane eye cream for sensitive skin, they've now got a face spray, and it's got glycerin in it and allantoin, and it just basically, it soothes, it does a few things. It'll set my makeup, but it'll also stop my eyes getting irritated or sore, and it's quite a fine mist as well, so it does it all. Oh, no questions. Thank you, Pamela. I was wondering what. Right, okay, so the Dolce Vita. So this is getting quite old now, but it still works. See, everyone, if you're a collector, I bet at some, I'm not that bad, but at some point I'll probably want to get the new one because it says Bella Sofia. But her stuff lasts a long time, which is fortunate really, because the amount of money I'd have to spend to rebuy it all would be mad. Right, I'm just getting out a couple of brushes. And I'm doing La Dolce Vita. And Pamela, you're going to like this because you were saying that I suit black eyeliner. And this actually in the look has got the black eyeliner. Although I might put my false lashes on as well. You prefer the name Dolce Vita. It was a nice gesture. Yeah, I was just wondering because like she's got an eye pencil called Sophia. And I often wondered why she didn't have anything called Bella. But then somebody said that her other eye pencil called Audrey was after Audrey Hepburn. So maybe Sophia isn't after her, isn't after her niece. It's after Sophia Loren. I don't know. Does anyone know? Oh, actually, before I do that, forget I put that on. I wanted to use Amber Haze because it makes a colour chameleon, because it makes a really good primer for the Dolce Vita or Bella Sofia, as it's called now. Really, really good primer. These are getting so short on me. Look at that. I must get some more. It just works really well underneath this palette. So just scribble it, rub it in with my fingers. It's just going to help that, it's going to help it last a bit longer. Yeah, I like the name Dolce Vita too, but I can see why she's done it. I think it is lovely. And she's named a lot of things after Ibiza, and I'll put a little bit of this under my eye as well. I love Amber Haze. It's got the most gorgeous. I think Charlotte uses this a lot herself. Look at that. It's really lovely, and it's very similar. If you look at the enhanced shade, the reason it works so well, if you look at the enhanced shade in Dolce Vita, it's very similar to it. So if I now put that enhanced shade on my lid, which I'll do, why not? I won't put the prime shade completely. I'll just put it on the inner corner, like so. So I'll put the prime shade here, just to give me a bit of light in the corner. Pamela, you'd suit the Dolce Vita look. Because it's a real Italian. It's a real Italian thing. And then I'm going to go in with the enhanced shade. And I'm going to put it on the lid. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it with my fingers. Now, this is a shade that is often recommended for green eyes. But I think it goes well with olive skin tones as well. So even though I've got brown eyes, I think it works with my skin tone. But if you've got green eyes, this is a must. And I think this is the one that Charlotte uses every day. I think she did a video and she said that she uses Dolce Vita. That's her palette. Ah! But Pamela, you look like you could. I thought as I said it, I wonder if it's her husband that's Italian. But you look like you could be Italian because you've got the dark hair and you know, I definitely think it would suit you. So I'm going to stick with what I'm saying, even if you're not Italian. People think I'm Italian and I'm not Italian. I'm half Indian, by the way, if anyone wants to know. Right, and this is, I'm now going to put the smoke shade. I'm doing this as a sort of it's not really a day look because I've used the enhanced shade on my lid and I'm using the smoke shade in the crease. So it's quite smoky. But in for a penny, in for a pound. And I'm going to just... You're English German, but pretend I'm Italian for the relatives. Well, I would have thought that you were Italian. I think you've got that colouring that you could be. I'm just going to put this bit on with a smudge brush to cover up my hood and then blend it in. Definitely want to lift this one up towards the brow. Yeah, well, I think that's, in all seriousness, Pamela, I think that's the case. When you're married or you're with someone for years, you take on their mannerisms and their features and their sense of humour, etc., etc. So, yeah. Mind you, I don't think I'm going to take on my other half's appearance because he's of Irish descent and he's got very pale skin and red hair. But I do take on some of his humour. I'm going to smoke that underneath. But only halfway across. And then I'm just going to clean off this smudge brush and I'm going to put some of the prime shade under the brow bone. And I'm going to just do a little bit of a wash of the prime shade over my lid just to lighten it slightly. Just slightly. And then the most gorgeous, 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 gorgeous pop shade. I think you're Spanish Dutch, but you look like neither. Well, it's good that we don't necessarily look like where we're from. It means that people can't pigeonhole us. Look at this pop shade. It is my favourite pop shade, without a doubt. Look at that. This pop shade, and yeah, it's got quite a high glitter content, but it's still flattering. Oh no, was the milkman too friendly? There you go, look at that. Look at how it opens up the eye and makes it sparkle. Let's do the other. I just find this one as well so emollient. This pop shade. So you have to get on with it now. Otherwise the meter runs out. I'm only allowed an hour on here, aren't I? And with my pinky, I'm just going to pop some of that prime shade in there. Now for Pamela. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to put my lashes on, so I'll do that afterwards before I do the photo. But I'm going to use her pen, her black pen. Do you see how I hold my little pinky against my cheek to steady my hand? And I don't think about drawing a line. When you're doing that, your eyeliner, don't think about doing a line. Think about doing mini strokes and joining up the dots. Because if you try and do that, you can't. And also the other thing I sometimes do with this one is I pull it over a bit to make the skin taut. So I do little strokes all the way along and join them up. So in case you struggle with your liner, that's the way to do it. Little strokes all the way along. Okay, that's okay. My father really is a milkman. There you go. The milkman was too friendly then. That's really funny. I'm glad I didn't read that while I was putting my eyeliner on. I'd have poked myself in the eye. There you go, Pamela. Now, because I'm a hoodie, I generally don't go in much for too much of a flick, because it don't work. But I'll do a little one. A tiny one. Oh, that's turned out to be a blob. You see what I mean? It just doesn't work because I've got, the skin is too lax around there. But anyway, that's just going to, once I've got my lashes on, that's just going to look like another lash. So I'm not that bothered. I'm going to put a bit of Barbarella Brown in my waterline to further both upper and lower waterlines. Because this works really nicely, I think, with a dark waterline. And what I find is easier to do is to take my waterline out and up. For some reason, that always works better for me. Hello, Cara. underneath as well. Oh, I'm going to put this in my waterline, aren't I? So this is Barbarella Brown. Hello. I'm doing the Dolce Vita look because it's just been renamed the Bella Sofia after Charlotte's nieces. So it looks nice when you actually put dark in your waterline. I know I've got finger marks now on my face. I'm always doing that. Right. And because I'm doing all Charlotte, I'll do all Charlotte. And I'll use a full fat lashes. One thing I forgot to bring over was a Ecstasy blush. Hello, on work call, boo, watching while on the phone. Don't tell on me. Naughty girl, Shoshana. So I'm actually going to mix two. So I'm using full fat lashes first. And I've not made any secret of the fact that Charlotte's mascaras are not my favourite. But one thing I will say in the favour of full fat lashes is it's not lifting enough for me. Right. Which is why I don't really get on with it. But one thing it never does is clump. Ever. So it's quite good to use as a base. Because you know sometimes if you use a really thickening one and then you put on another coat, you end up with sort of twiglets. You don't with this. But my favourite has got to be MAC Upward Lash. And then I'm going to just do a second coat using Legendary Lashes, Volume 2. Because that is a bit more thickening. And a bit more wow. Okay, and then I'll do my brows quickly. I think the Dolce Vita goes quite nicely with a navy striped top. Hello, Benji Gone Mad. That's a name and a half. Right, I'm just going to sweep up my brows. And then I'm using a brow lift to fill in my brows. Miss the Upward Lash mascara, but finding it extended play is a great base. Have they stopped doing Upward Lash? Because I got a couple of them. I stocked up, so I haven't run out yet. Have they stopped selling it? I don't know why they never seemed to advertise that one very well when it came out. Oh, no. Oh, well, I'm on the hunt then for it. You said it extended play. So what are you using now, Cara? Because Upward Lash is my favourite. And when I heard that they might be doing away with it, I did stock up. But once I run out, I'll be looking for another mascara, and I am on my last one. I like the brush on it because it really lifts your lashes. My lashes aren't actually that short, but they come straight out. But if I lift them enough, they're not actually that short. I just brush them through again. And if anyone's got this, some people don't realise, but there's a little highlighter in the middle that you can highlight your brows with. I know I've already done it, but it was just to show you. But the other thing I like about this highlighter is it's just the right shape to get in here. So I quite like using it there. Smaller brush with extended play is a great base, but needs to be used quickly, and then a more volume one over the top, like in Extreme Dimension. Oh, right, okay, thank you. I've got in Extreme Dimension, I haven't got extended play, but I was looking at that as an option, so I'll give that a try. Thank you. Right, and I'll just quickly swipe over my brows using her Legendary Brows, just to fill in. Oops, that came out in a big clump. Just to fill in any other gaps. Oh dear. Let's see if I can brush that through. Nope. The spotty brow. I haven't got my Q-tips here. Ah, I know what I can do. It should work. There we go. Just brush it through. My eye's already watering here, so that's why it's starting to smudge a little bit. Also, I'm always on the lookout for a good black eyeliner that is waterproof and doesn't smudge, because I've got very watery eyes. Right, I'm going to put the lipstick on next, because the lipstick that goes with this look is Penelope Pink, which is a bit fair on me, but I can get away with it when I use it with this look. I think it works with this look, but normally I'd go for something a bit darker. I'm just going to use Pillow Talk. And then Penelope Pink over the top. And I just realised I bought the wrong lip luster to go with it. I was thinking Golden Goddess, and I set all this up before I started, and I bought Ibiza Nights, but that's Golden Goddess. It's Seduction, I think. Yeah, Seduction that goes with this. So I will put that on for the final shot. Now I have got Film Star Bronze and Glow with me, so I'll do that. Let me get a brush. I've got my bronzing brush and I want my sculpt brush. Do you know what I might do instead of Ecstasy? Ecstasy does look lovely with it, and it is part of the Dolce Vita look. But I might put one of her wands on. I think I might put Peach Gasm on or something. Or even mix peach and pink together. Where's my Film Star Bronze and Glow? And you know, I bought a new one of these because I'm running out. And yet I've been running out for months. I can't use it up. Right, okay. I think because the Glowgasm collection took over, so I've been using that. But I'm going back to this a bit more. I just think it looks a bit more natural. Sometimes it can go a bit over the top. Now, I was saying to somebody, when I suck in the cheeks, I can't follow the hollow because I don't have one. So I have to follow where the hollow should be. I don't do the bottom of my nose because my nose is quite short. And then under here, I'll bronze up my face a bit as well. And what I sometimes like to do, it just brings it together. Just put a bit of your bronzer in the crease as well. Brings the look together. What's that? A hair. Go away hair. Let's go under here. On my ears. And then I will use our highlighter. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to use a highlighter. I'm going to use a bit of her Flawless Filter instead. Because this one's shade 3. Going to give me a bit more of a glow. A sort of wet glow rather than just a shimmery glow. Just make sure my hands are clean from blending stuff in. Right, as the meter hasn't run out on me just yet, bear with me and I will get the Peach Gasm wand. I'll just put a little bit there. Right. I'm not one for putting it on the tip of my nose. And let me get the Peach Gasm. I know exactly where it is, so bear with me a second. Chat to yourselves. Here we go. I'm back. I will use Peachgasm. Do you know what I feel I want to do with this Penelope Pink? Is just put a slightly darker lip liner around the outside, which I might do as well in a while, and my lashes. And I just put, I over squeezed this last time I used it. It's definitely going to give me a bit more of a wet glow. And that is the look. I'm going to put my false lashes on, and I might just smudge a little bit of a darker lip liner around the lips. Just slightly, just to define my lips a bit more. Because at the moment they just don't look that defined. And then I will do a photo and I'll leave it on after this on my stories, but also on my feed. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Has anyone got any questions before I go? Because normally I haven't finished. Thank you, Pamela. I love the Dolce Vita. And once I've got my lashes on, it kind of... It really brings it to life. In fact, when I use Dolce Vita, I always feel like I do need lashes on. I need to open up the eyes even more. Thank you, Pamela, for getting up early to watch me, because I know you have to get up really early. So thank you. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you all. Thank you, Earthy Souls. Thank you for joining me. Watch out for that photo. I will just put my lashes on and I'll upload it for you. All right, see you all soon. Bye, Ali Pallies.